Hello and welcome to Penny for a Tale. Tonight we are playing Pathfinder, 2nd edition. This is the Age of Ashes Adventure Path. We are at the end, or very close to the end, of Book 2, which is Cult of Cinters. I'm going to introduce my party, our sponsors, and then we're going to pick up where we left off, which was actually quite dramatic. So, Spence, why don't you start?
Hi, I'm Spence. I live here, and I GM every other Monday, and you can always see me here on Sundays, hopefully. I'm playing Monica Freerunner, who recently turned to stone. I am a halfling with dark brown hair and brownish skin and lots of scars all over my back. Because I was told that we should probably do like visuals more often. Anyway, and I also have my warg, Aldonis, who is a big old warg. He's an adolescent. He's got bright red eyes, dark black fur, and is very worried about his mama.
Alex?
Oh man. Hey guys, I'm Alex. Thank you so much for tuning in. I play the director, who is a gnome bard. He has bright green hair and cool little sunglasses and a very colorful attire to show his colorful nature and his character. I'm excited. You can check me here every Sunday, every other Monday for Star Wars. But yeah, let's get going.
Jen?
Hello, I am Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. You can find me at savagesparrow.com, where I sell lots of awesome nerdy t-shirts and things. Otherwise, I play Reka, the Rixie druid of the Storm Order. She basically looks like a large bearded dragon, and has except she is covered with various accoutrements of bones and dead things, and all sort of vaguely knit together into some sort of shambling pattern of dead stuff.
Yeah, that about covers it.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith?
Hello, I'm Mr. Smith. I play Rune Ravenswood, who is in, as far as I can tell, a world of shit. And in preparation for my inevitable demise this evening, I have prepared a coffee old-fashioned. I will post the ingredients in chat.
Now, if only Rune had a paddle. Let's see. Our director of Stream tonight, Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I play Sailix Lavendale, the Crestfallen. Visually, just picture a elven witcher, really. He's got the white hair, scars everywhere, tall, buff, you know. Yeah, and I'm also here all the time, but I'm super excited about this game and I want to get to it, so let's see if we die.
And I'm Ian. I'm GM tonight. You could basically just find me here. I'm on a lot of the shows. You should check out our stream schedule if you're on Twitch, or just links if you're on YouTube or something like that. We are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds. You will see I'm using Fantasy Grounds Unity with the Pathfinder 2nd Edition package. The APG just came out. It is fantastic. Check them out. Smiteworks is fantastic, and they're putting out some really quality content. It's fantasygrounds.com. I think you can try it for free. There's month-to-month, or you can make one-time purchases of the license, but it's top-notch, guys. Also, the only sheet is used. We used it during character development and planning. I know our wizard still uses it for creating their character. You should go to theonlysheet.com. It's Excel sheet based, so if you have Excel, it is not expensive, and it manages just about anything you could imagine as far as creating your character and managing your group after they're made. Our music is by Michael Gelfi. He is on YouTube and Spotify, and we are using music from Roth Narden, who is also on YouTube and Spotify. We'll have links if you're on YouTube. And I think there was one, Seafoot Games on Patreon. We will be using one of his maps. This will be the Battle at the River. So if you like it and you want more of it, just check him out on Patreon. So let's see where we left off. Sailix and Reka, you're in a bit of a pickle, aren't you? Just to recap what happened, you arrived where the cliff meets the river. The dragon pillar was missing, but you found it. leaning against a large boulder. Maybe looked like a small mountain of sorts. It was out of place. And then you begun to realize why. This body of stone began to shift and coalesce into what is the largest giant or colossus you had ever seen, standing easily 100 feet tall. You're in the shadow of it, and as it rises to take a humanoid form, it lifts the dragon pillar that had been leaning on it, pulling her hand away from the gem of the dragon pillar. A beam of lightning, electricity, between her palm and this pillar. You realize she wields it as a staff. You have a chance to step back a bit, or even flee if you would like, but you know there's nowhere you can go, or she wouldn't be able to find you. You certainly can run. You can't hide. What do you guys do?
Cry?
Sailix, I'll let you start.
Why would you do that to me?
Anything to say to this creature? She looks down to you.
Anything to say to the creatures
Yeah.
or to the party?
No, specifically. Are you going to? Yeah, I mean anything you want to do, but you realize you have a few seconds before reckoning.
Goodbye. No. So he's immediately going to pretty much yell to the trees, hit and run, and hopefully Will pick that up, and it'll be enough instruction for Reika to also understand what he's saying.
Okay, and where are you gonna go? You have a turn here.
Sailix is going to move. I'm going to zoom out of the map a little bit. He's going to with the heal. Right there. And I'm gonna prepare an action to attack when they're in range.
All right, Reika.
I need the right map, please.
Oh, right. There you are.
Sorry, you just messed me up. I'm fuck up right now.
I'm sorry. Adapt, improvise, and overcome. I believe in you.
Okay, so Felix is there. I guess. Is it possible to hide in that bit of forest or whatever that's like right behind me, or is that too dense?
You are far too close.
Okay.
That anywhere you hide, she'd find you more or less instantly. Sailix recognized this, and that's why he's running. You can match pace with him if you'd like.
Okay.
You run with him.
Can I use a spell and run, or no?
Yes.
Okay. Then I would like to do that and also cast Shatter on the gem of the thing.
Okay. Make an attack roll. No.
Why wouldn't it let me cast it? Do you want me to just roll a d20?
Roll as if it were your hand crossbow.
Okay. Let me find that. Sorry, guys. Okay. With the... There we go. Oops. Oh, I want to use a hero point on that.
Do it. Go ahead.
Oops. There. Thank you. Okay. Why are you not? Okay, there we go. Is that better?
It's a near miss. You channel your magic, but this thing is so high up from the ground. Running's a safe bet
Yeah.
as this thing moves closer.
Oh,
Will,
no.
matching your pace as you all head over to the bridge. This thing is just going to step closer. One long step. That bridge just sways.
Oh, God.
Ground shakes. Smacking the pillar on the ground. Sailix, I need you to make a reflex save.
Oh, no.
Well, with the tremor, a board slips loose from the bridge. You got a nat 1. You fall into the water. Unless you have anything you'd like to do
I
about
would
it.
like to use a hero point on that, thanks.
Excellent. Better. You catch yourself just barely, but you're at shoulder level. Your legs dangling through. It's your turn. What do you do?
Well, I had the prepared action to attack when it was in range.
Right, so that's wasted, but you can make an athletics check to get out and keep running if you would like.
I'll go ahead and do that then.
You hear the sound of the rapids below you. This wood ready to give in. Perfect. You're on your feet again, even further. Are you gonna move? Will's following you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to move and try and at least get across the bridge.
Excellent. You can get all the way to the other side with one action.
Alright. And then, yeah, I have one more, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold it and wait for like an opportunistic time to attack.
Excellent. Reika?
I guess. Let's see. So that's out. Terrible.
You can move with Sailix. Sailix is ready to
Yeah.
attack once it's close enough.
Okay.
So you'd want to keep with the pace of the rest anyway.
Yeah, if I can do that.
Yep.
Okay.
You have 2 actions left.
I'm going to cast the vital beacon on myself. I think because that should last the. Let me double check. Yeah, lasts all day. So I'll cast vital beacon on myself, so that way, then if anybody gets hurt, you can just touch me.
Excellent. The giant steps onto the bridge, knowing it would collapse, watches it plunge into the river, unaffected by the rapids. Next step, over. It only goes to maybe her knees, but the pillar is now more level with you as she holds it close, bringing it down. It fires. Sailix, I need a reflex save from you. This pillar adorned with a dragon's skull. It's
Side note, if you are in chat and you would like to buy us hero points, you can spend your channel points and and buy a hero point for the character that you choose.
You can save us. Please not save us.
Sailix, that's a
Yes.
fail.
Oh,
Use a
no.
hero point.
Yeah.
Right. Since I put you in very particular circumstances. Now that is a success. You're taking 11 points of damage instead of 22, but go ahead.
All right, I'll take it. Since they like the pillar is now right there.
Much closer. Yep.
Now, can I use my prepared time to attack?
Yeah.
All
This
right.
is your chance.
So I went to for the first. Like, how close is the pillar? Like, is it like right up next to us?
You're going to have to make a jump.
Oh yeah. All right.
It's going to be a leap.
It's cool. I got this. I got this. Yeah. No, he'll jump up.
I need an acrobatics check or an athletics check and an attack.
So
Are you attacking the giant or the pillar?
I'm going to attempt to attack the pillar right
Excellent. Roll them.
now. Is it acrobatics or athletics?
Either.
Is that one? There is. Yeah!
You slip. If you were aiming for the hand, the roll is a slip. You manage to catch yourself on the giant's shirt, but the fabric is tearing away. It's made out of dirt, you notice. Dirt and grass. You can still make that attack, though.
Oh yeah, I definitely went there.
Critical hit. You don't have access to the pillar. It has to be the giant.
That's fine.
Excellent. Roll damage. Tell me what happens.
So as Sailix goes up to also, I don't know if the sonic damage is added to this.
This.
As Sailix goes up to he jumps like prepared. He goes off. Completely like the staff moves midair, trying to readjust and he comes down awkwardly, and he just takes the best attack he can on the way down and just cleaves both hands down onto the torso of the giant with that loud crack from
Excellent.
the sonic damage.
It's a boom. The sound of the rapid water flow hitting the giant and the bridge collapsing into it was already deafening, but this completely tops it. This is something incredible in terms of volume because it's just hitting pure stone. In fact, you almost think it hurt you a little bit, just the sheer impact. Reika? Actually, I suppose it's actually Sailix's turn.
All right.
But I need a check from you, an athletics check. You're starting to slip.
Okay.
No, Sailix.
Oh, okay. I'm good.
Yep.
Okay.
You're holding on.
All right.
You have a grip. Are you going to climb further? You're going to make it for the pillar?
Yeah. So can I? Can I attempt to like flip myself up like because can I say that like the sword is like lodged into their torso?
Yes.
Can I use it as like a leverage post to kind of like put my feet on and jump like aiming for the pillar?
Absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna do that. Another acrobatics check.
Yep. You nail it. It's flawless. You're without a weapon, though. Now you're hugging the pillar, the staff. He's trying to fling you off, but you have perfect grip. What do you do?
Can I just try to like punch
Wail on it? Absolutely.
the gem out?
Yep.
Nice.
Those blue veins up and down your arm, glowing as you prepare this unarmed strike.
How do I make an unarmed strike, by the way?
Just roll me a d20, and I will add your. I'll add your bonuses. No.
You did get another hero point from chat.
You've got a hero point.
I will use it.
Puts you at 2. All right, I've used it. You have 1 hero point left. Make your roll. Your first blow.
Do it. You can do it.
Give me that face.
You've got a hero point left if you think it's something you want to use, but Sailix, you punch a hole through this pillar, and a rotten piece of the wood. Your arm's caught in it. You're feeling the blood start to form around your forearm there. Not only can you not take this thing out, but you can't get off of it. You have one action left.
You better cut your arm off, man.
What do you do?
Oh God!
So I'm stuck in the pillar, like I can't move my arm.
Just underneath. You are right next to its crystal, where the lightning comes out.
Can I try to grab the crystal and yank it out? Like yank it free?
Yeah, let's see. I think that's gonna be... Trying to think what check you should use for that. Perhaps athletics? Or unless you're trying to break it. Yeah, it's gonna be an athletics or a strength check. Make a strength check for me.
All right.
Whoops.
What? Is that?
No, that was my bad.
Did I get a 5?
No, you did better than that. That was me by accident. You pulled the gem out. But it shocks you.
Worth.
You take 9 points of damage. I want you to make a save to hold the gem so you don't drop it. And Reika.
Fortitude?
Yeah, Fortitude's good. I like Fortitude. And Reika, it's your turn.
Okay. Is she still standing in the water?
Yes.
Is Sailix in the water?
Sailix is in the pillar in her hand, above the water, but flailing about, trying to hold on.
Okay. So,
Sailix, you
here's
nailed
the
it.
question.
Yeah, go ahead.
If one were to cast lightning bolt, given that she's standing in water.
Try it.
Okay.
She's made of stone.
Huh?
She's made of stone. I mean, Sailix is he's on the wood.
All right. Let's try
He
this.
has survived that before.
Okay.
We're gonna try for again?
Yeah, hold on. So what?
Go ahead. So roll that damage.
Oh, I got it.
Well, I don't think it's a. Is it an attack for the spell?
Oh. It's basic reflex save.
Okay, excellent. Describe what you're doing here.
Well, so first of all, is it raining?
It isn't.
Okay.
Just overcast.
Okay. So I guess, it'd be a thing where, like, she would be chanting in Druidic to summon, like, the primal forces of Overstreet to strike down this creature of evil who is seeking to, oh, that's good. And, just part the clouds, lightning bolt. Or that's what she'd like to have.
She's gonna look down at you. You notice you see the light from the electricity called down, illuminating on her face menacingly. pokes down. You're noticing the sheer scale of her. Massive. She bends down. She says, "Is that all Gozray has?" Seeing Sailix wedged to this pillar.
I punch her in the face!
I think you have one action left.
Yeah, I punch her in the face. If she leans down
Do
to
it.
say that, I punch her in the fucking face. Fuck her. Like, fuck all that. Does 22 hit? I'll hero point that. If I have to.
It does not hit.
I will hero point that.
All right. Let's do a double damage. Piercing, slashing, and fire damage all in one with one. Her jaw just rocked. Her face alone is, her nose is about the size of you, so that's quite a feat. She stands up, furious at that. But Reika, I need you to make a reflex save. He swings down at you.
Okay.
Is that 2 in a row?
That's a loaded. Jen has
Fucking
loaded
hell.
dice. No, that's amazing.
God is with me tonight!
All right, Sailix, you don't get such luxury since this is an attack roll.
So, I want to say, Ian, she'd shout back, like, don't talk. He's a puny god.
Fuck, tell me how you really feel. Let's see.
I feel like Fantasy Grounds is making up for everything that happened to us last week.
I know, right? Sailix?
I looked into the window of herself and said, "Bitch."
The weapon comes down with you on it. Using it as a club, she strikes Reika. Reika rolls out of the way gracefully, but you don't have such luck. You hit the ground with it, smushed between it and the dirt. You come up, you notice that sword embedded in her chest is glowing like it did the first time it was shocked. Maybe you can grab it when you're stuck. But before you can even finish that thought, you're struck again. But that's another hit. Smashed onto the ground. Sailix, make a thievery check to facilitate sleight of hand. Coming back up, you are mangled. Actually, one of your eyes is already swollen shut that quickly. You actually see the blood dripping on the ground. You've been beaten into the dirt. Every time you're getting closer and closer. Near miss. You almost grabbed that sword. But perhaps you have another chance. A third strike. It's a miss, though. You dodge out of the way because you're loosely connected to this thing. You swing out. The pillar hits the ground. You manage to land on your feet, but you know when that pillar comes back up, you're coming with it, or your arm is, right? Make another thievery check as you come up.
Come on.
Try to grab that weapon.
You did get
Slowly.
another hero point.
That's a natural 20. Sword comes out. Well, that concludes the giant's turn. Before she notices you even have the weapon in your hand, go ahead and do something with it. It's your turn.
We did skip Will twice. Is he just holding?
So, what do you think of Will in this situation? When was the last time Will has contributed to a battle?
He's a great guy, but
I think he's got a bow and arrow.
Yeah. Well, he's prepared, but this is all about in the span of seconds. So, seeing him line up the crosshairs, a bow and an arrow isn't going to do shit to this thing.
Fair,
And
fair.
you're starting to notice a look of panic on his eyes. Actually, now that you're thinking about it, his hands are shaking. He's already dropped a couple of arrows and taken a step back. But
So,
what do you do?
Can I? For one, I want to. Can I try to pull my arm free from the pillar?
Yeah,
Okay.
that could be an action. Your face is mashed right now. You have 2 hero points. Your arm isn't in. It's not in your good arm, your weapon. But at least you have the advantage of the giant doesn't see it yet.
All right. So, pulling. Like, what would the check be?
Athletics.
All right. So we're gonna try to pull his arm free.
It's free.
All right.
You're holding on to this pillar with just your legs now.
That's fine. That's fine. One hand, I want to drink a fucking potion.
Excellent.
So that's a moderate healing potion. I don't know how to actually utilize it.
Okay.
It's in the inventory. I just don't know how to actually utilize it there.
Yeah, I'll do your number. Do your thing.
His next thing is he's going to attack. Like he's going to like try and like since he's free of it. Yeah, he's just going to like try and 2-hand slash down where he's standing, like right now.
Okay. Excellent. Roll that. Roll damage, sir. That's a nat 20. Positioning with 2 hands, straddling the dragon pillar, and just... Excellent. A smash. That loosened jaw shatters into rock and dust. You hear this as all the rocks land into the river, like you were skipping stones. Crashing in, you hear a roar. This time far more visceral. She's angry. I think those were your 3 actions. Reika, what do you do?
Sailix has your health.
He's looking bloody. It's hard to tell. He had a bunch of impacts. He could, maybe a concussion. You don't know.
Okay.
Wolford drops his quiver as he's trying to knock an arrow back. Finally aligning it. When he pulls it, it just shatters on impact, hitting her right in the chest. What a reminder that she's made entirely of stone. Go ahead.
I think I'm going to try to punch her again.
Excellent.
That seems to work the last time.
You're gonna have to jump on though.
Oh, okay. Did that work? Or should I have done an athletics check first?
Make an acrobatics check, or I'll make it for you.
Okay.
To jump onto the creature.
Okay. Also, that is not me spending a hero point. That's me accounting for that. But I want to use one now.
There you go.
So that's my final hero point.
Jumping onto her unused arm, her
Yeah.
free arm. That's when you slip. You have another shot at this,
Is that enough?
and it would fail as well.
Ah, fuck. Hero point, guys. Stream.
I got you.
Just FYI, apparently there is a limit for hero points to be purchased, so yeah.
Okay.
Spend them all now. Makes my life easier.
Yes! That's way better.
Excellent.
Okay.
You've got a grip about the waist. This is mountain climbing in the extreme. Your weapon is out, being your fist. You have 2 actions. What do you do? So your fist attack.
Yeah.
First one's a fail.
Okay. I'm gonna try again. Ah!
Full
Yes!
damage.
That creates a bunch of convenient traps for me to get a better grip on her. Okay. Ian, can you roll the damage for me?
Yep.
Thank you.
Actually, yep, with a regular success, 11 damage. Well, she's proper mad.
Yeah!
Her immediate reaction upon that is to grab you
Oh no.
and throw you back onto land. That is a hit.
Can I do the storm retribution thing?
Is that a reaction?
Yeah.
Yes.
Check to read. Okay. Apparently it is not in fantasy grounds, but from what I remember, I think it lets me cast a
Tempest Surge. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, you have to save against it.
All right. Let's see. Seventeen's a fail for Tempest Surge,
Okay, that's fine.
and that's a push. So your Tempest Surge succeeds,
Oh, okay.
which means it is pushed 5 feet away. Is that how it works?
I think it's... Alright, so...
Yeah, 1d12 electricity damage, and in addition from that ability, they're pushed 5 feet back.
Yeah, and then I think also there's a condition you get.
Clumsy 2 for 1 round.
Yeah.
Yep. Excellent. Salix.
All right. So where am I at on her? Like, cause she had fallen into the river. For which?
Also, before I forget too, did I take HP damage?
What?
For getting thrown off? Or...
Oh, yes, you did. Yep. Oh, actually, she still had two actions. I forgot that it's the giant's turn.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you know, you could just stay having forgotten.
You know.
Just saying, like, you know, you don't have to remember.
20 points of damage.
Okay, you already killed it.
Back to you, she says, with her hand pulling you, Salix. Now that you're free. $31 is a hit.
Is it?
You're also Sailix, what's your AC?
Should be 32.
Is your shield raised?
Yeah, because we just had the one hand.
Oh, did you go back to one hand? I thought you were two hand.
No, he did. He was good.
You fall on the ground right beside Reika. And you take 21 points of damage. You're heavily wounded. Next to Swing, her reach is incredible because another arrow shatters on impact at the shoulder. You look back, and it's Will. The pillar comes down, even heavier than those fists brought you to the ground, slamming him into the dirt. He's not moving when the pillar comes up, at least for a moment. Bringing in closer, she puts another hand on the pillar, like a bat. Suddenly a flash from the sky. Something charges at her. You liken it to a missile or a rock launched from a catapult, hurling 80 miles an hour, smashing into her face. It's an elephant in flight. And a little green gnome you recognize atop it.
What the hell?
Go ahead.
Yeet!
Oh my god!
What do you do?
Alex, is it time?
It's time!
I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Okay.
Or at least an elephant. Thank you,
Oh my
Spence.
god! Oh my god! What is happening?
It's your turn, Director.
Man.
You
All right.
saved some people's lives.
I
For
tried
now.
to. So with not only with fly, I also changed out one of my cantrips to be message. So it has a 120 foot range. So as long as they're within 120 feet, I'm going to get a message to Sailix first to be I have rope. Try and grab on. Yeet. Because that is what his mental, the amount of a mental capability he has at this one moment. So, yeah, he's going to try and, with the first elephant to the face attack, he's going to try and bring it around to the back of this thing to at least try and get it distracted, to get it away from them.
Right.
But I'm also going to cast, something. I'm going to cast Phantasmal Killer.
Okay.
All right. Let me get
Are you dropping that rope?
I am going to drop the rope.
Excellent. A 50-foot rope drops off Dumbuge's back. It's almost within arm's reach for some of you. Maybe you could crawl over to it. Doesn't look like Wilfred can, though.
I'm sorry.
It'll be all right.
I'll wait for you. Okay, so I'm going to cast this one living creature. Let's see. Can I do it on hit? I don't know how to.
Whole ass elephant just came down out the sky.
Oh,
Aw, man. I missed a total opportunity to do Defying Gravity instead.
So it has to make a will saving throw.
Excellent.
And based on the outcome of the will save, we'll.
What's the DC? That's a fail. It's a critical failure.
Are you serious?
It's a critical
no.
failure.
Are you?
Do you have a hero
critical
point?
failure.
Do you have a hero point?
Is it a critical?
No.
Is it a critical failure for the creature or for me?
For the
The
creature.
creature critically
Oh.
failed its save.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Are you
God.
serious? It doesn't matter really what my DC
Go
is.
critically
Gray!
failed.
Okay, you know what it is,
Flat
Ian.
one.
You know what it is.
No, tell me.
Ian, okay, on a critical failure, the target is so afraid it might die. It attempts a fortitude save. If the target fails, it dies. On a successful fortitude save, the target takes 12d6 mental damage, is fleeing until the end of its next turn, and is
What's the
frightened
DC?
for... Huh?
What's the DC of that fortitude save?
Let me look. Ian, look on my sheet. Look on my sheet, because I'm going to make sure I have this right.
See, this is because I put my armor on.
Plus
That's why we get
13.
good roll.
So the DC for the save should be related to your level as a character. I think it's your spell DC. I don't remember how it works. Rune, what is your spell DC?
Panicking.
That's probably roughly what it's going to be.
24.
24. All right,
Yeah.
it fails.
It's like, mine was like
It
8.
failed the fortitude save.
Okay. Why me? Okay. Okay.
The head starts to vibrate and shake, and you just hear just shatters into a pile of rock. Not a mountain of rock. I mean, this thing looks like what's left over at a dig site. Pouring onto this river. The past, you could walk over it now. This thing has been obliterated.
While this is happening, like while we're being showered in rocks, can like Sailix just fist bump Reka?
You both actually need to get out of there because it's coming
Yeah.
down hard.
We need to grab Will.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
But
one's
no,
for you,
as
Dave.
he's running, he is touching Reka for that beacon heal.
Oh yeah. That's
Rain.
sweet
Yeah.
bacon.
I'm sure that's a high
Touch
five.
my slimy goodness.
Yeah, a rain of rock, just clouds of smoke.
They're
This thing just
running
thought it
away,
was dead and
high-fiving.
died.
So I think the first one we double check is 4d10? Yeah.
Wow.
You get a lot.
I'd say you
Yeah.
guys are victorious.
Hooray! Praise goes Ray.
Yeah, the bridge.
I was trying to.
We have a path. The elephant people starting finally to arrive as backup. Dumbuge landing with the director. We'll fade out on the victory, and look north. Rune, describe where we left off from your perspective.
Rune was attempting to take out the last pillar, feeling that it was a bit of an ambush. As he saw the rise of the bat-like creatures, he cast a fireball, only to immediately have his feet and hands bound and his mouth covered. While standing, or at that point being towered over by a very tall, golem-looking creature, who I believe did not introduce themselves.
Right. Well, Rune.
I will follow that up with, he sort of fell into himself, waking up going, well, as long as I am not at the bottom of the ocean, I should live. Waking up to the sound of water and simply saying, well, shit.
Right. The next thing you remember, because this is about a bit of a blur, you wake up seeing the sky. Between you and the sky, though, the ripple effect, the distortion of light, you realize you're underwater, facing up, but you're bound. There's very little you can do about it. Make a fortitude save for me as you hold your breath, without choice. Nat 20. You keep calm. You hold your breath. You watch a bit of a skirmish occur. Suddenly a hand, that golem-like hand, pulls you out of the water and plants you on the ground nearby. He lowers your gag so you can breathe. As you gasp for air, you look around. Kobolds and armored elves go to war with these Sabasons, these flying vampiric demonic creatures. This isn't a battle in the hundreds, but the dozens. And things aren't looking good. You're being dragged by this man towards the river where the dragon pillar is, and there's not much you can do unless you have any ideas.
It's not necessary to drag me, Diedrich. We can have a fine conversation here.
Yeah, we'll talk later. He pulls you closer. You notice
Nenoth has things to say.
a kobold falls about 10 feet away from you, and he reaches towards you because they all recognize you, only to be pulled back and ripped apart by a Sabason. Diedrich says, "You're going to need to hold your breath again." And he pulls the gag back up. Yeah. Keep your eyes shut. We're going to the waterfall. And he pulls you into the river. Suddenly, at a very rapid pace, you're headed for the drop.
Ah, shit. He holds his breath.
Well, you feel that sensation of water. It's weird to mix it with the feeling of a free fall, unlike anything you've experienced. But it goes black. About 5 seconds of falling, and you wake up. You're in a strange place. It's dark, and your head has pressure to it. One artificial magical light lights the room. You're bound, sitting in a chair, looking down. There's sand between your toes. Looking up, it's near pitch darkness. This man in the rock armor, he stands about 8 feet tall from it, but he's without his helmet now. A piece of rock embedded where his eye would be.
I know how that feels.
Hello, Menoth.
My name's Rune, but fair enough.
I know your names.
I know.
So, this is the part where I ask you why you did it.
Which part?
Well,
Part where you started the Ravens War? Or the part where Menoth decided to poke at you just a bit?
when you took him in.
Well, that's a bit tricky. Taking him in wasn't, I wouldn't call that the precise words, you see. I was looking for something, yeah. But he found me.
Right. You see, I carry quite a burden.
That's a burden of your own making, mate.
Is it?
You did it to yourself. The war at Katargo, that was you and the Ravens. Menoth was a side effect. You're the one who took onus on it.
Menothaguro has been committing atrocities since before you were born.
I would not discount that in the slightest. But this particular slight that you're focused on, that's all you.
I'm worried about the greater good, Rune.
Greater good is subjective at best.
It is.
Sometimes.
And yet, I'm faced with a bit of a quandary. You see, we sit below 10, 20, 30,000 pounds of water. Look up.
Rather
You
not.
see, if you even glanced once in the beginning, there's quite a lot of water. You're at the very bottom of a deep consider it a vertical river. Part of the river where it's most shallow and slowest flowing. It's got a disturbing depth to it. So you see just a slit of light coming in from the top.
What is there? 200 feet before surface? Maybe more?
Probably.
Yeah.
So, if I were to kill you right now, I'd never know how many lives I saved. It could be hundreds. You don't know what he's capable of.
You're right, I don't. But I planned on figuring it out.
Right. At what cost, Rune?
Well, the cost of my eye so far.
We're a lot alike,
How that goes.
don't I?
With all power comes sacrifice. Isn't that right?
You wouldn't even begin to understand what I've given up. Looking for him. And he points to one side of your head.
Yeah, I've heard vague stories 20 or so years ago. 3 decades you've been looking for this bloke, huh?
In the corner of the room appears the headless woman. She sits with her legs crossed, in the sand. Don't kill us, Rune, she says.
Yeah. He shifts a bit, letting his cognitive mind try and determine what's there and what isn't, before just nodding. I understand.
You know, Diedrich was kind to me there for a bit, she says. Why don't you tell him something? It'll keep us alive.
More in his head. What would you recommend?
Tell him my name. And she'll come up to you, knowing you realize now that he can't see the headless woman in this little sanctum under the water. This is actually, it's like a half dome pictured as the waves move around it. It's just air, one chair where Diedrich interrogates Rune. Diedrich doesn't see this woman, but she moves to Rune and whispers her name in Rune's ear.
Diedrich. You remember Mirakai? Diedrich.
His expression drops. Sorrowful. Some darkness washes over him. Don't you play games with me like that?
There's no games to be
No
played.
more. And he pulls the wave in. This perfectly shaped semicircle dome crushes in. Just one divot, enough to barely cover your nose and mouth, rushing in as you begin to drown, but also face some of the severe pressure of that water. And he holds it there for quite a long time. What do? You realize he might not be giving you an opportunity to speak here.
Rune does his best to sort of shift his head to move his mouth to where he can get some air.
And he brings it back up.
She's trying to protect you. She remembers you.
Marakai died a long time ago.
You're right, she did. Her body, anyway. Something of her stayed behind. Too strong-willed, too stubborn to go into that good night. Why don't you tell me about her?
I need you to convince me not to kill you right now. A greater good argument, because I've been waiting for this moment since you were a toddler.
Since before I was born, I was to say.
Well, you really
Listen,
are young.
I get it. You're, had a lot of scars going on. I can't even begin to imagine what happened back then and to now. What you tried to do to make things right, or whatever right you think is best. And I'm not gonna lie, I didn't necessarily turn away from this particular predicament. Not quite what I was looking for either. But if you're looking for a greater good, if you're looking to keep Menoth from doing anything else, then he's in a prison right now. And there's a solid chance that between Marikai and I, we can keep him there. But that ain't gonna happen if I die.
This might kill you yet. I want you to know that.
That is entirely true.
He strokes his salt and pepper beard. He stands up, looking away from you.
But you're alive still. And I suspect you got plenty of years ahead of you. Given what I'm looking at. That suit and you can't separate the two of them. You glow just as bright as magic as that does.
I wonder the same about you and that parasite.
That is a apt analogy. But my point is, if something happens to me, I have little doubt you'll be there, keeping a very close eye. Listen, I get it if you want to drag me off to some prison or just take me to the bottom of the ocean and let the waters carry me away. But I've got close friends, people I care about that are in danger right now. You want to take me? Fine, but at least give me the chance to help them out first. Let me use this power that I've got with him, with Menoth, to do something right.
Very well.
Wait, what? Did you say yeah?
I need to tell you a story about Kintargo.
Well, I mean, I don't really have a lot of time, but sure, if that means yeah, sure, yeah.
But then I want you to understand, if killing Manothaguro means killing you, I'm not gonna hesitate. I've done it too many times.
Yeah, I got that vibe from you, mate. Tell me your story.
All right. Another chair materializes. But we're gonna go to Monica. From the head
Hi.
down, this petrification, it's a sensation unique. You've never felt something like it before. There's a bit of timelessness to it. Fading from the head first, it takes about 20 minutes for it to wear off. You find yourself in a cell. There's a bale of hay. A man in the cell next to you. Across from you. Your arms and legs are asleep. You can barely move. What do you do?
I listen. I listen for anything that could tell me if there are more people other than the ones that I see in the cells opposite me.
There's only a few cells, 2 or 3. Jossie is in the one across from you. It's dark. place smells horrendous.
Are all of my things on my person?
Your bag isn't here. Your clothes, though, everything you were petrified, yeah, it's with you, but, your travel equipment is not.
My necklace is there.
It is.
Okay, so, I will wait for the pins and needles to stop, hurting me on my arms and legs before I start to move. I will probably swear a little bit in Goblin because it sucks.
They have the best swear words.
They really do.
You hear a few voices off in the distance. Just Cinderclaws talking about something. You think you're in the fortress.
Excellent.
It wears off. You can stand if you'd like.
Okay. So I want to stand and like peer as quietly as I can out of the bars. I don't want to give away that I'm awake to the guards. So, yeah.
You notice Jassi looks up at you. He says, "Who is there?" Hello?
Shh.
His eyes are white. He's blind.
Did he speak Draconic? I can't remember.
Some.
So I will say, shut up, stupid.
Why are you here?
I don't know yet. I'll figure it out.
You should not have come. Boots, enter the cell room.
I back up away from the cell door.
Tall Uruxi man. Gar said. Jassi, I didn't ask you to talk. Don't speak, or I'll cut your tongue out. And he turns to you. You're awake.
Yeah, hi, handsome.
You can thank me for sparing you. You can explain your amulet. You can ask for an execution.
Well, thanks for not killing me so far. I will explain my amulet to whoever's in charge. And no, I don't think I want an execution today.
Curious if you understand the weight of your actions. Do you know how much of a thief you are?
You make it sound like I stole this.
Well, it certainly doesn't belong to you.
Oh, it belongs to me. It's been in my company for years. It's seen me through many things. It's changed me. I think I belong to this amulet much more than you do. I'm basically trying to manipulate him a little bit.
You can make a deception check if you would like.
Oh, I'd love to.
Trying to pull some strings.
Take my mute off. Can I, oh, I'm not doing, diplomacy. I'm doing something else. So hobnobber doesn't count. Okay. Well.
Diplomacy could work in a different context, though.
Yeah.
Somebody get me a key, he says. Two boggards shuffle off, and he's gonna get closer to the cell, thinking about what you said.
Okay, I really do think that Fantasy Grounds is making up for what it did to us last week.
How did you obtain this?
It was as if fate brought me to it. Do you want a story? Shall I tell you a story? Or shall I wait until the person in charge is here and then I don't have to tell it twice?
While she's gone, I'm in charge.
Ooh.
I'm quite busy.
All right, fine. If it'll make you happy. Come on in, have a seat. Once upon a time, about 5 or 6 years ago, I found myself in a coastal town just outside of Nadal. And plying my trade, you know, like a good loss prevention consultant would do. And I found myself in the most fantastic bazaar. And there was a jeweler who was showing off his gorgeous wares, and among his wares was this. And it was like it beckoned to me. And he complained and complained about this piece. He says nobody else will even come near this section because of that piece. I said, how much do you want for it? He said, 3 silvers. I said, sold. And so I took it. And I put it on.
It floats and bounces, darting to the left.
Calm down now. And it's been my guide. It's been my companion ever since.
The tan lizard folk man, towering above you because of your small size.
Oh yeah.
He's even closer. Have you never thought to wonder what it's looking for?
Well, curious that you say that. Because it brought me to Reika. She
You're
and I
almost
have been
there.
attached at the hip.
You're so close, but you're missing it.
Well, I'd be happy to be enlightened.
I don't have the time. He'll head out of the cell and shut it. Sailix, you're carrying Will.
He is.
He's hurt. Quite badly.
So Sailix is kind of shaken that Will.
Clouds of dust. It's a bit foggy, but you hear that your army is just starting to arrive for reinforcements that don't seem necessary anymore.
Does Will need to be stabilized?
Yes, he does.
Okay, I will fucking do that.
He's gonna put a hand as he's being carried on Sailix's shoulder. Brother, I can't do this.
It's okay. Your big brother has you. It's fine.
No, I thought I had this. I didn't have this.
You
It's fine, we'll
stood
take-
there bravely as many lesser men would have fled in terror.
We'll make sure that you don't see battle anymore. I promise.
I'm gonna have him, basically grab his hand and soak up some of that delicious slime for my beacon. Let's see. Oh shoot! You should take one of those dice out because I think
That's
it's
fine.
only 3.
Thank you, Reika, but I don't even deserve it.
What are you talking about? Why would you say something so stupid?
What if we were on the battlefield?
I would still heal you as you were a soldier. You were fighting bravely and valiantly for our cause.
Barely.
Any effort's an effort. It's better than doing nothing.
Exactly.
And you said that you can't do it, so you'll watch the camp while I handle business.
From about 40 feet back and 20 feet up, as the dust is settling, you're walking away from now this mound, this dam that has formed itself, actually. As a start, an elephant whispering to a gnome, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but, are we supposed to step in?"
Oh, no. See, it's okay. I've been telling you from the get-go, fear is the mind killer.
Yeah,
I've been
well,
telling you from the get-go.
They're real moody.
Oh my god.
Crazy. Oh, well. Oh, hey, he's gonna try and, pick out. Does he see Sailix coming?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're all making it over to where the clearing will begin.
Hey! Sailix! Rika! We gotta hustle a little bit. We got a place to be. We gotta go.
As Sailix looks at the director and just kind of gestures with his brother in his arms, just like,
You should
this
be better,
this
though.
is the area.
He starts to get up. He seems fine. As he begins to shrug it off. Later, you arrive quite nearby. The army forms using this temporary land bridge, which is soon to be over flooded, by the way, as the dam collects water. You make it to where the clearing will be. In the middle, this is still dense vegetation. The underbrush is relatively flat, though. It's an ideal location. Sailix, this is part of the plan that hasn't fallen apart yet. Fortunately for you. You're among your army, and one of the scouts has already sent for the Akuje now that the pillar's down. Fortunately, you lost the gem in the water. You can have somebody search for it if you'd like, but yeah, what do you do now?
He would actually put somebody on searching for it. He's like, I have a.
How do I get that thing?
I'll have a perturbed wizard on my ass if I don't get that gem back. So.
Yeah, speaking of perturbed wizards, I got a little inkling that maybe we should help Rune. I'm not gonna say why. I'm not gonna say it. Just a little thing that maybe we should keep.
This is my surprised face.
Okay. I'm glad you're there. Okay. I'm not gonna say why.
Interesting.
Well,
Thing.
we've been.
So I would look to Will and just be like, if you are interested in paying me back, I've been trying to petition the god Gosre for their blessing in giving us the conditions we need to turn this battle and this seed and everything related to that, it's going to take a lot of faith and energy, and every bit that can be contributed, every bit of belief and power and perseverance can make the difference between whether or not this battle is a success or it turns against us. So do not doubt, and do not lose yourself in this. Seek wisdom and guidance in the storms, because again, the rains that flood will sweep the fires that are looking to destroy.
Reka, a hand is on your shoulder.
Ooh.
A gentle one. Turning, you see it's an Akuje woman, blind. One of the dozen or so that traveled with you. Knowing the blindness, they offer their services as witch doctors of sorts, or shamans, to commune with nature, because they're not risking their vision any further. And she says, Bedariel wishes to speak with you.
Very well. I would normally say lead me to them, but that feels very insensitive to a blind person. What is appropriate?
Let's go, or just to walk there, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, I guess she would look for where they are, and take the person by the hand and go over there.
Seed is pulled from the elephant and laid in the center of this territory that Sailix has outlined. Sailix, do you begin on this very night?
Oh yeah, no. So
Certainly.
as soon as he puts Will down, says a couple words to him, and he'll be like, "I'll be back."
Yeah.
He'll have people sit with him to make sure that he doesn't try to run off.
Yep.
But
Yep.
he will immediately just start barking orders, and it's he's not going easy on him. He's like, we've taken it easy getting here. Now it's time to use all that spare energy you've had. Get those asses in gear. We got to start clearing this place.
Yeah,
So-
Dambuge is gonna say, these elephants can't talk, but they really think you're an asshole sometimes, Sailix.
Don't worry, most people do too.
All right, it's fine.
It's a common thing. Don't worry.
Oh my god.
Point to the biggest tree and I'll knock him down. He's gonna
He'll
crack
point.
his knuckles somehow.
He's like,
He'll point him in a random direction. He's like, I have nothing. If it wasn't for the elephant, we'd be dead. So.
All right, we're doing this. Dambuge! And he just...
yeet!
Yeah, you need to hold on there, pal. But in the center of this, you can, Reiko, you hear the distant sounds of the clearing beginning. Sailix barking orders, the camp being set up in any spots where there's space. A circle of 12 Akuje. They begin a ritual. Strange music, drums, some bones and relics. They invite you to the circle. Opening the chest, Bedariel speaks to you again. They say, Storm Speaker, I'm scared. What if it's not like your story? If I don't like the world?
I'm talking to the seed, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
pulling the 40-pound heart-shaped seed out of the box, the chest.
So, I guess she would sort of, put her hand on it
Right.
and say, there is always fear for because you have known one life and now you are going into another. this new life, you have the power to shape the world as you want to see it. You will be a beacon and of hope for a great many people, and they will love you for it. Do not have fear. Look to the horizon and see.
I'm ready, they say. They tell me I'll grow as tall as Acrobel. I hope you visit.
Always.
And they plant with what you can only equate to the sound of a gasp, but that doesn't quite really have a parallel for vegetation as you know them. The dirt's placed over the seed, and they begin the ritual of packing the dirt, applying just a strange liquid over top to nourish it. For the night, do you set up camp nearby? Because it's now time to rest. You've been traveling all day and you had a battle, and you need to be ready for the next day. Are you going to set up camp near Bedariel, or are you going to join with the others?
I thought for the ritual I had to go 4 days without sleeping.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to start that now, yeah, no sleep. If you wanted to go right now, you can take a night's sleep first. If you'd like.
Okay, all right. Then yes, I will. If I am allowed to take the night's sleep before the nights of no sleep, I will definitely do that. Especially since I would like to refresh my spells.
Right.
And yes, I would do so near the baby.
Dario will ask for more stories before you
Oh yeah. of
fall
course.
asleep.
Oh man. Let's see. So there was this one time I was hunting this wolf.
God, this was a scary story.
Oh.
But he was still a puppy.
Yeah, he was a little baby. And, they thought he couldn't do it because he was wounded, but it turns out that he was just as strong as the other wolf pups. As long as he had friends.
So, Reika, Sailix, Director, tell me what the next couple days are like as you prepare. It's a bit of a lull.
Yeah. Sailix would just try to oversee the clearing out as much as possible and the setting up of the traps. Have the everybody do get in the habit of guard rotations and things like that to set up, and overseeing the damming more so.
Perfect. What about you, Director?
The director is going to he's going to be inwardly very nervous. He's in this for kind of one reason and one reason only, and that he feels there's a timing issue with this, and that he has to remind Sailix, not to just rude, maybe we should check on it. I don't know, just saying. And but he can't say anything. He can't say anything why he wants this. So he's kind of just on the periphery, trying to be like, Sailix, Draco's
Make a deception check for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you're starting to be a little bit dodgy.
Ooh.
Wait, Sailix read this paper.
He doesn't know that. I don't know that.
Yes, you do, because you were there.
Yeah, Sailix.
You showed him.
from your hand.
Oh. Either way, that's my deception.
Yeah, so that maybe that'll fly for everybody else. Sailix understands what's at stake here. You don't want to lose this opportunity. That's a lot of money.
Anyway, the other half he would be trying to keep the morale up of the people.
Right.
And
Sailix, are you offended by this? You have lives at stake in the hundreds. The director seems, in a way, maybe concerned about money.
The director concerned about money? Get out of here.
There is a non-zero chance that seeking rune would be at great cost to your mission. Director's worried about him though. Probably, at least in some aspect.
He is.
Ultimately
He's
worried
worried.
about him.
He's worried for reasons.
Sailix will get down on one knee. Look at him.
I do. I do. Thank you. I've been waiting for this moment my entire life.
Real square in the face. I'm like, if you're that worried, hop on your elephant, fly your fat asses to go find Rune. Because I'm trying to save lives.
Rude.
I'm trying to save this forest, and I'm trying to ensure generations in the future have a place to live.
You see, I would do that, but then you might fail.
Oh, without you, without the.
I'm just gonna say. I have a flying elephant.
He did provide a great deal of help against the the giant.
And all I'm saying is I'm trying to help one of our friends, somebody who could help us here. But I understand where your mind is, Sailix. I really do. You have a lot going on for you here. But I'm just trying to look out for our friends and just keep you in mind. Not even that, just to remind you that maybe to also keep Rune in mind, who may or might not be having his own ordeal. I'm just saying, keep him in mind.
Sailix will raise a hand, and he'll let out a high-pitched whistle for two or three of the Akuje guards that are around to come over. He's like, I can't spare myself, but I can send you with them. That way you're not going alone. Reika is probably going to start her ritual soon. So, unless she wants to postpone that, we'll be here. But I will send you with who I can. Is this okay with you?
The director's kind of gonna look between. He hates decisions like this. He doesn't know. No. I don't know. Maybe. I'll think about it. He'll storm out. He'll storm off. I'll think about it. As he kind of goes walking away.
Sailix will walk over to Reika and kind of just be like, if we all weren't already aware of our positions, we would be on the way to get Rune right now. But not only is Rune in danger, Monica's in danger. So if we go after Rune, why are we not going after Monica? I don't understand. All we can do is what we have in front of us, and that's it.
I mean, again, if we fail here, everybody dies. So.
And plus, I haven't seen any giant bolts of lightning in the sky, so I'm pretty sure Rune
You do notice
is
the clouds
alive.
form gradually, just collecting
You do notice a big bolt of lightning.
over time. It's beginning to be, it's foggy.
So, my character would just look at the director and be like, I am needed here regardless of, I care for Rune and Monica, and I sincerely pray that they are safe, or at least enduring whatever trials are before them. But if I do not participate in this ritual, it has to be me. So I have to stay here.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand for you. I just, I think he's debating on him, he doesn't know himself what he's going to do. Don't send anybody. If I go, I'm gonna go by myself. But do your thing. We had to do the thing here. I get it.
Sailix is gonna walk up to him with something in his hand. He's like, "In these troubling times, Director, can I interest you in an egg?"
I love you.
Wow.
He's gonna look at Sailix and be like, "That's supposed to be my line. It's supposed to be my bit line. Yes, I'll take the egg. I'll take the egg."
He'll just keep walking up, resuming his earlier thing.
Bugay will pick up the director, put him back on the back,
Thank you.
and head out over to some remaining trees before the end of the night. Screw this tree in particular.
This one rips.
I'm mad. 2 days will pass. It's like this. Fortifications are being built. Mostly trees are being cleared. Weapons sharpened, traps laid. People are digging, and it is beginning to flood. Rune? Later, you're pulled up from the water. You've been traveling, actually, at the floor of the river for cover. But suddenly this half dome became a full circle as he brought you up to the surface, plopping you down on the ground. He says, "Well, this is where the rivers meet, but something's wrong."
I guess a dam.
Strokes his graying beard. "It's flooding.
Yep, that sounds about right.
There hasn't been rain."
No, don't worry about it. I know what's going on. Listen, I've got someone in my head who wants to tell a bit of a story herself. Shouldn't take long. Are you ready?
This is a trick.
It's no trick.
Go ahead.
When the dragon arrived, there was terror everywhere. Its breath burned away half the city. I was caught in the crossfire. It was shortly after then that Menoth came. Found me. A husk. Something to be used. I was barely breathing. That's when he took me. He needed to get away. Needed a new base. Easier to move around. He knew you'd be after him. For years, we traveled together. I was just stuck in a corner of my mind. It was a labyrinth. I couldn't get out. It was terrifying. Alien. Water everywhere. Spires floating in the ocean. Some memory of a place long gone.
I had a
He
feeling
used me
he'd
up.
hit.
He had his fill. I think he ran into you. It was a fight. My body couldn't hold out. He used the last of what he could to siphon himself away. But I followed. Stuck with him. Knew that if there was any way to stop this alien son of a bitch from destroying other lives, someone would have to be there with him to see what he was doing. We made friends of sorts, a symbiotic relationship within a symbiotic entity. Came across Rune. By fate, by happenstance. That's a story for a later time. But I think I found someone. I don't know. But I wanted to say thank you for everything you did for us back then. You brought the Ravens together when they needed it. You
That
helped
city's,
Montago when it needed it.
that city's the only thing that hasn't gone to shit since then.
Listen, I have no idea what I just said, but sure, I'll take your word for it.
Rune,
Yeah.
you're in the crossfire of some colossal shit.
Oh, that sounds about right.
The luck that you must possess to stay alive. It's astonishing.
You know, I firmly believe that I have charted my own path. And regardless of what I may lose or sacrifice between now and then, I'm pretty sure that I get to control luck from here on out. Listen, if you and your blokes want to help us out, I won't say no, but I suspect you'll be watching over me periodically anyway.
Yes. Well, whenever this business is over, and we will have it over, I'm finding my armigers again. There's a ship at the coast waiting for you. I'll give you a blanket in the cell, but things are ugly from here on out.
All right.
I just need you to do one more thing.
Oh God, what is that?
Duck. Make a reflex save.
Oh God.
You fall to the ground, and he jumps out, launched like a missile. His arm turns back into a rock spike. It looks sort of like a stalactite. Leaps over, and as you look back, he collides with the warg that only you recognize. They tumble and land sort of halfway in the water, and he starts wrestling this thing.
Oh. Bug. Dietrich, no!
He looks at you. Stance, what does Aldonis do?
Aldonis is just like thrashing around, like not expecting to be attacked by this dude. So he's just trying to get him off of him.
Perfect. Yeah. So with Diedrich's distraction, Aldonis shifts the weight and begins to take the upper hand.
And then like he would position himself between this guy and Rune and like defend Rune.
Hey, old friend. Everything's fine. We're good here.
He retracts his spiked
One more
glove.
important question.
Stands
Where's
up.
Monica?
She's where she said she should be. But we didn't get the tower. It turned her to stone. The lizard man, he took her. I followed for a bit, but then I made a promise to meet you here.
Good on you, mate.
You're a learned type, Rune, Diedrich says, staring at the warg. Do you have any idea who you've befriended here?
Oh, quite. This here's my mate Adonis. Well, I think we're mates. Close enough, I suppose.
Your friend.
He's a bit of a runt, but he makes up for it in tenacity.
Right.
Spite.
So are you. This thing is dangerous.
Only to my enemies.
Right.
Listen, Diedrich, I promise you, I don't actively go out and look for terrible things in the night, but they somehow find me, and honestly, they aren't all that bad.
Monica does.
So, you go back to your ship, I'll meet you there when all this is over, and we can have all the late night cookies we like.
I'm coming with you.
Or you could follow me and you'll just terrify everyone we run into. That's fine. So is this
Monica would like you.
You're the muscle, I'm the scrawny. Yeah, alright.
Lead the way, Menoth, says with a smirk. Monica,
Hi. Let me change my character. Hold on.
What do you do to pass the time here?
I take all the hairpins and the hair stick out of my hair, and so my hair is
Right.
down for the first time in forever. And it goes, down past my waist, and I inspect the lock, but making it like I'm actually talking to Jossie, but I'm feeling around in the lock.
The lock is strangely familiar.
Oh,
In fact, the last lock you ever picked was a replica.
oh,
Same manufacturer.
That's so nice to hear.
Do with your eyes closed. I believe that's a thievery check if you'd like to take a crack at it with your pins.
Just to see if I could do it.
Jossie looks even thinner than before.
I was gonna say, I'm not that bad at it. Okay, here we go. How'd I do?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you could pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could crack that with anything.
Yeah. But this is specifically the reason that I put so many pins in my hair stick in my hair. In my hair stick, I did sharpen the very tip of it beforehand. I think I mentioned that when we were doing prep. So that it can be used as the stiletto in worst case scenario.
Right.
So I will wait for when the guards are not paying attention or just falling asleep on the job to go ahead and do that.
The patrols, you can memorize
Oh, sweet.
over time. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, having been in this situation before, that the key to this is patience. So I wait. I wait till there is a lull, or till that one guard falls asleep on his duty. I just want to find my bag if it's nearby.
Can't find it.
I'm sorry?
You can't find your bags anywhere.
That sucks. Okay. I will put like a couple things out of place just to fuck with them, just to fuck with their heads, and then get back in my cell and lock it.
Strange. Yeah, one of the boggards, frog-like person, he sort of limps over, looks around like he had heard something.
So, Jossie, did you dream of anything last night?
Why are you doing this?
Why am I doing what?
I do not want to talk.
Well, you kind of left us in a lurch, and so I've been wondering. Well, I've been concerned about, your health, your well-being, and everything, and then find out we're both here.
I do not want to speak. He's gonna shake his head and he's gonna scoot out, away from the torchlight, into the dark corner of his cell. He seems unwell. The guard's a skeleton crew, much smaller than before, and you can tell by what small sources of light streaking in. It's night now.
So, I will ask Jossie, do you want to die here? Is that what you think you deserve for what you did?
leaning forward till he's on his hands and knees. You can see him in the torchlight. He's looking towards you, but obviously he can't see you. And he says, "Yes."
All right then. But don't fuck this up for me. If you want me to survive, if you want Reika to survive, if you want your people to survive, just shut up and accept death. It'll come for you sooner than later.
Are you going to do anything else?
The next day, I'm going to try to escape. And I'm going to use my cloak since my cloak is still on the person.
Right. Well, let's get to the next day.
Okay.
Rune and Aldonis, what's your day of traveling like? Are you going to follow the river on the side you're at? Are you going to try to avoid the fortress?
Runes, as I recall from the original plan, Rune was supposed to meet up with the group at the fortress. Was that right?
The original plan is you can see if Monica was captured, so the original plan was to wing it from here.
Oh, gotcha.
You
Oh,
are
yeah.
without your army, though. That is something that you didn't expect to happen. The kobolds might all be dead, which means you're relatively underpowered. They were swarmed by the Sabasons, and you narrowly escaped by fleeing along the river. You can try to see if you can rescue Monica, but you know it's not typical to head straight for the fortress.
You also know that the last pillar to the south was not destroyed.
Right.
Oh, the pillar. We're going for the pillar.
Excellent. Reika, it's been days. You know, it was a rough estimate on how long it would take you to prepare. Suddenly you feel a weird sensation. Ocean breeze. It's like you're back at the sea. Sea salt. Your sea legs almost kick in just at the smell of it, and you feel the chills up your spine. You think it's time.
It is time. And
As
she
you head
just-
over to the center of the clearing, now almost fully cleared. Sailix is working hard. Will is at camp, but you head over to where the seedling would be placed. Intricate carvings in the ground from delicate irrigation. You know exactly where the seed is, and now it's time to call the nutrients of the area to feed in. How do you approach it?
Oh gosh. I guess. Are all the akuche set up and ready to go?
The 12 blind Akuje are ready for what you understand to be a sacrificial ritual in some way. Sailix, you see this this party form for this moment. This is important for you in the mission. Do you observe?
Yeah, he would call everybody to observe and kind of stop what they're doing, take a break, and give a wide berth.
Director, you gonna watch?
Yeah, definitely. He'll watch.
Circle with a diameter of about 200 feet to give it ample room to grow. Reika, Bedariel whispers to you as you get close. I'm ready.
Let us begin. She would open herself up to, I guess, just divinity, like that pure, absolute faith and clarity of purpose. And, you know, and she would have her hands outspread and like be speaking directly to the seed, in as much as what she's saying is a prayer and a plea to the earth and everything around her. And part of it is, you know, druidic, and part of it is in common. But basically what she is saying is just like, Bedariel, right?
Bedariel, yeah.
Yeah. Bedariel, as you prepare to come into this new life, this new form, I offer you the earth around, the nutrients from the soil, the grasses above you, the flowers and the weeds, and the other trees that will be shaded by your presence. We offer you a mighty river nearby, the skies overhead, the rains that will fall to herald your coming, the sun that will come out to guide you after. We offer you, and then at this point she would pull out a dagger and cut her own hand. We offer you our blood, our lives, and our essence, so that you may feed off of our experience and accept our sacrifice for you to guide and protect us for this future we are building together.
Suddenly, the thick fog starts to fall to the ground. You feel as though you're in the clouds. This clearing makes it surreal. You can see now the subtle shift in the terrain. The light hills, it seemed like flat terrain. The fog's so heavy you don't even see the tree line anymore. Rune and Aldonis, you're stopped when Diedrich notices a strange sensation. He looks in the direction you're traveling, but then out towards where the river would be flooding, and he mutters something in absolute disbelief. There's a calm. Suddenly, where the blood fell on the ground, corkscrewing out, a seedling. The first two leaves, one red, one yellow. It sprouts up. What you don't think you would feel, but you do. The ground quakes as nutrients are fed in a bit of a network, feeding into this main seedling. You feel as if a light earthquake rocking back and forth. Some of the grass dies, some of it blooms flowers. It would be a beautiful sight, not for the deep overcast, making it seem like an eclipse. Before you know it, Bedariel is as tall as you. You almost think that it stops to look at you, Reika, before it passes above. 10, 15 feet up. You notice now as a sapling, it begins to form bark, and with that bark, that wood, the Akuje can now start to form it. Branches breaking off. With the magic, the blind elves shape it into what would become the platform of the city, and suddenly, in moments as the Akuje jump on, it skyrockets dozens of feet in the air. This thing is easily the size of Acrabel, and it invites you to come on. It actually grows these platforms.
Yes!
Akuje twist it around, suddenly forming what looks to be towers, like defenses and turrets. A complex with rope bridges and ladders, and it starts to bloom with multicolored leaves. Sailix, even you have to step back because the width of this thing is incredible. It's maybe 20, 30 feet across. You see not only the earth shaping to fit its massive roots, but the fog carries into it to nourish it. as it grows. It's touching the clouds now. Yeah, you can't see the top of it, but as it stops, finally finished growing and rotating, a rope bridge falls, as well as seeds. And within a small forest, the trees start to bloom. Children of it, only 10 or 20 feet high, to make up the turrets that would house the rest of the Akuje. And the fog clears a bit. You move up, Reika.
Yeah.
Okay. I imagine you'd be first. The Akuje are up there as well.
Yeah.
They helped to shape this thing actively, like, dynamically as it was growing.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Ian, but the music is maybe a little emotional right now.
It's a lot.
Fine.
As you make your way up there, you're at a dizzying height, but you have a panoramic view of the whole forest. Sailix, director, do you head up there as well?
Yeah. Sailix will
Excellent.
make sure he grabs Will on his way up.
I feel like Reika would lightly pat a hand on Agravell and whisper quietly, with her forehead just gently against it. You are magnificent.
It is a sweet moment. Rune, Aldonis, you don't have that moment. You have the sensation of a plan slowly falling apart. You're already at plan D, and it's looking grim. But you arrive at the pillar.
One quick thing apparently.
Go ahead.
On the walk there, Aldonis mentioned something, and Rune looks at Aldonis. What do you mean she's like you?
Aldonis will open his third eye.
Mashtu?
Yes. She offered her hand and Monica took it.
She did what? Oh. Well, shit.
Why
Teacher.
shit?
Says, Rune, do you have anything else you would like to tell me?
This was utterly new to me. So
Right. That
No.
crow you sent, was he a worshiper of Asmodeus?
oh, probably at this point, yeah,
Second home on the third layer of hell?
yeah. I think you might be spot on. No, Corvus is just, at least I hope, unless Asmodeus decides to get, involved in some form or fashion. In theory, Corvus is just going to go let my mates know that we're going to help Monica.
I don't understand. Why is this bad?
Well, there are things going on beyond us that involve us, that Lamostu and Desna, and that's just not good. It's just not good. I mean, we had works amongst our group already. This is just going to make things really complicated. But we're going to go do this because Monica's in trouble. I really can't have that. So,
Well, she's doing her part of the plan. She went there not the way I thought she would.
that's fair, but we still need to take care of the poor.
Be careful, it turns you to stone.
Got that part, yeah.
Okay.
Luckily, we've got a big golem to take that for us. Right, DJ? We're in this together, yeah?
Just ignore you. It does begin to rain. No longer cloudy. But you see the pillar. You have a master plan, Rune?
Not really. It's I've got some caltrips to throw at it.
Caltrip.
But
Yeah.
he's really good at this part. He's done it like 5 times.
It took 3 of my men taking out that pillar on the cliff.
You should have tried my caltrips. Actually, I think the director's contract.
Yeah, Works shouldn't be able to laugh, but
I think a ward.
Aldonis is genuinely excited for Rune to show off.
Well,
Don't you tied me up now?
What did you say?
Rune just looks at Dietrich. Don't you wish you wouldn't have tied me up now?
I don't know what I want anymore, Rune.
Oh. Well, how about we just stay focused on the task at hand and destroy a pillar? How are you at throwing things?
Have a good arm.
Good. Rune hands him a caltrip bag. I need you to throw this at the little gem in the tower.
But you usually do the thing and then they just go for it.
Oh,
Why is
Dietrich's
he
got to
throwing-
feel important.
Oh,
Hmm.
two legs are confusing.
Mage hand, huh?
Oh, no. Mage Hand doesn't have enough force behind it.
I'll let you be the judge of that.
All right.
And he'll lift his golem hand. The bag will rise and then dart across the sky, smacking into the pillar. You can't tell if he's knocked over the pillar or destroyed the stone, but it explodes from 20 feet away.
See? Caltrips.
Brilliant.
I know. Did the director. That looks spot on.
The director.
Yeah.
You mean 2 nights in a day in the city of Math? That director?
Is that one
So
of
you've
his
heard of him?
plays?
Say again?
So you've heard of him?
I've read a thing or two.
He is gonna be thrilled.
Yeah, well, perhaps you shouldn't tell him. I'm
Oh
not
no,
proud
please
of it.
don't. I mean, if you don't, I will.
All right, well, we're not alone. We need to move. You notice coming out of the brush. A couple of
Rune
cinders.
is Rune's gonna pull over the gem.
Excellent. What's your plan of attack? Are you avoiding these things? Moving towards them. You're outnumbered, but you're not outclassed.
How many are there?
Looks like 24 right now, but you don't know what else is coming out. Rune, we need to move. Deidre
Should
said.
run.
Can you take him?
No.
How about you,
many.
Deidre?
Are we risking that right now?
Oh, you think we should go back to the party?
Yes,
All
I
right,
think
then.
strongly.
You've got the experience. I'll take your word for it.
Director, you're at camp. Bedariel is built. They're calling it as such. This isn't a city, it's more of a military fort, but they've named it that. One massive tree, larger even than Acravel, but young, is surrounded by 100 or so small trees that are about 30 feet high, branchless, and impossible to climb. The dam is built, and it's flooding. What do you do in your spare time? You have a night, you think, maybe 2, maybe 3, before things start to get really heavy. Actually, I want you to make a will save for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the director is an overthinker. And you're cursed with perhaps too much time to think about what could go wrong here.
I think he would. You said this was a will?
Yeah. All right. You're fine. But Sailix, how are you feeling tonight?
It's feeling pretty good. Feeling really good. This massive tree just sprouted up. The dam's built. Traps are laid. You know, the plan is working thus far. I'm a little worried about Rune and Monica, but there's not much you can do from here without abandoning everything they've worked for so far. particular check on them.
Right. Reika, what are you up to?
I feel like Reika is just like physically, emotionally, everything exhausted, right?
Yeah.
Also, thank you, Q Times, for the raid. So, you know, I kind of see her just like hanging out on one of the platforms, over, like, is it raining?
It has begun to rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To feed
so,
in
like,
now that the fog is no longer needed, we're feeding the flood. The
So
deluge.
basically, I would see her just kind of sitting out on one of the exposed platforms, just, quietly enjoying the rain and this sort of like cleansing thing,
Right.
And, if Sailix wanted to join, she'd be down for that, but like she is wiped out.
You have not slept for days.
Yeah.
Building this megalithic tree. You have constructed basically an entire village, and you're standing on a platform 200 feet in the sky that didn't even exist hours ago. So, you deserve some rest. There's ample space here to get some sleep unless you wanted to be on the ground. But this seedling that has grown definitely prefers your company.
Yeah, no, she would like, totally sleep with sleep on the, probably not in the rain, but
Right. Shelter.
Yeah, but and she'd even tell it another story. Because, it's your first big day. I'm so proud of you. But, in Lizard.
Of course. Sailix, your elven brother is at base camp cooking. You wish to visit him?
Yeah, he has to do some talking.
Yeah. Something vaguely in the shape of a sloth is being roasted. He's cleaning up. He's been avoiding you for days now.
Right.
He barely looks looks you in the eye, but he's just, oh, brother.
Alright, out with it. What's going on?
I told you back in town, the day of our last war, before we fled, something broke in me. Thought it healed, it didn't.
Right. No one's faulting you for that. And like I said, he will keep you here and safe in camp until all this is over. But I can't take you back to the portal to Breach Hill until it's over.
So useless, Sailix.
I'm not useless. You make a great substitute for Monica. I'm not sure if she could have strung up a sloth-like thing. What is that? I don't know.
Yeah, he looked at the cooking ware before him, thinks about Monica. If we lose this war, is that what I want? Cook.
Well, I mean, it's always good to have a fallback plan.
Very reassuring, Sailix.
Will, what do you want me to do? Do you want me to walk you through the gate?
I
can
don't know.
assure you that I will protect you above all else.
I don't know if I even want that. I want to be better.
There's nothing I can do to help.
Yeah. Kind of what you said last time. He's gonna leave for his tent.
Sleep in the tree? It's huge.
Rune, the wizard, and Aldonis the warg. You're with Diedrich. The night you're traveling, and it's quite dark now. You've managed to escape. You don't think you've been tracked. Anything you want to do before rest?
No, not that I can do. Just see if Corvus is within 1 mile, and if not, that's fine. But just see how far he may have gotten.
Corvus is not anywhere to be found. If he's alive, he's out of range, which I guess is that's all you know. Yeah. And he is. This is a hard situation. It's dark, but you don't have dry shelter. Rain's coming down quite hard. What do you have in mind?
Rune begins to draw some symbols in about 30-foot area. And getting in the center, he digs his staff into the center of it, the circle that he's drawn out. And he begins to cast a spell. And from the crystal at the top, arcane symbols begin sort of pulsing and emanating as a cloud of smoke, fog, and mist all sort of swirling together begins to emanate, creating a dome around a lot of them, covering that 30-foot area. Private sanctum. While in the sanctum, their environments are controlled and they cannot be seen or listened to, or anything of that sort.
Middle-aged wizard. I mean, the knight. He says, Rune, I really see myself in you. It's like that.
Good. Exactly.
You tell me. You look at he seems about dead inside. He's a broken man, scarred and marred, and in a suit that sustains him. I was your age. About for the rebellion. Chasing what's inside of you, that parasite. It's about what did this to me.
Listen, I'm not gonna judge you for the decisions you made. You probably did what you thought was best, no doubt about that. But I mean, we all make choices. We all have to do what we can, and wherever it takes us, that's where we end up, right? If I end up like you, broken, lost, or tired, that's where I end up. My plan, however, is to see more than this as he sort of gestures around to the jungle. There are places neither of us can dream of just yet. Worlds and dimensions and planes of existence that I can't even conceive. Those are the places I want to see. And the only way I'm going to get there is with the power that I'm hunting down. I make no bones about the danger involved with this. And I never expected to be dealing with this Menoth growth in any way, shape, or form. But it's here. I've got it. And I can tap into something with it. Something that proves a theory that I've had for a long time now. You can like me, you can hate me, you can see yourself in me if you want. I assume we're both just as stubborn to some extent. We're seeking something that lets us do what we think is right for this place. So, I'll keep pushing along. And if you want to throw me in a cell, I give you my word, I'll find my way out.
Before you finish that sentence, you're pulled out of your sanctum. Something with long claws grabs at you, 3 of them.
Well, shit.
Wraps around you, pulls you in. I want you to make a reflex save.
Something profound, too.
So as not to be thrown on your ass from this thing, this sudden attack. You did quite well, but
Not well enough, I'm guessing.
no, it has the jump on you. After being pulled in, something bites at you. Rune. And that's a hit. 11 points of piercing damage as jaws, 2 teeth lash into you, and you feel the back teeth, the bottom jaw, connect with your arm. It's cold to the touch. I'm gonna do initiative. Rune, you go first. You'd like to make a perception check. It's pitch dark outside of your little sanctum, and nobody's had time to react to this. You can try to see what's going on, but... Oh, and you did incredible on that perception check. A large, sloth-like creature stands above you, attempting to pull you up. You notice as the jaw moves out, your blood has been partially drained by the top fangs. Your skin has that cold sensation to it. You feel it moving down your arm. You have 3 actions. What do you do?
Well, first things first. He'll do what he does best, and so his staff is not with him. He just a quick reminder. It's still raining. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he begins to pull at the air around him, and it's almost like you can see the wind and the environment just sort of tense and pull against his fingers as he yanks at the air, pulling the ozone around his hands. Electricity sparks between each of his fingers, and he throws a lightning bolt at the creature. Do you have a target by chance?
You can find the target in the... Maybe in this tracker. You should see it now. You can drag it onto the combat tracker character. It succeeds its save.
I think that's still half damage.
Yep. So roll the damage onto the character, and then it'll calculate the half damage for fantasy grounds.
So this would have been...
No. Wow. Okay. So, a flash of light. Diedrich now sees this creature in its full form. His fur shining from the rain. Aldonis, you've got a pretty good idea of roughly what this thing is.
Yeah, because I
Like
can see the
His
dark.
last action to scramble away.
He uses last action to what?
Scramble away.
Okay, excellent. Aldonis, what do you do?
I'm gonna pounce at that thing and chomp on it with my jaws.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna attempt to do a knockdown, but it's all dependent on if I actually hit it.
It's quite large. You're going to need a lot of momentum, even as a warg.
Mm-hmm. I'm hero pointing that. Way better. Alright, that's a hit. So I do 1d6 plus 5, and then I also have 2 allies, so that's an extra d6.
All right.
So. Mhm. Cool. And then, since my attack was a success, I automatically knock the target prone.
Excellent. This demonic sloth-like creature, 12 feet tall, falls to the ground, but quickly rises back up again. This time focused on the ward. Not with teeth, but claws. It knows it can't win a fight like that with the ward. Pull the sheet real quick.
Do I get it's all 3 of the
So you should have you have one. You did a move action to approach, and your attack. So you should have one action left to attack.
Okay. Yes, I would like.
Yep. Yes! Oh, excellent. Roll damage.
Not sorry. Was that you? No,
9
that
damage.
was me. And then I do an extra d6 damage for the pack. Yeah. So that was 6.
Okay.
I don't know why it didn't show up, but
Fine. I'll add it in manually.
okay. Is he knocked down again?
Yes. As he gets up, but then he gets up yet again slowly. That is a sloth would.
It's done something. Gets knocked down,
Slash
but
with
it
the
gets
claw.
up.
A critical hit.
Of course it does.
The next attack this time is going to be the jaw. It's more confident now. It's moved in closer to hit as well. Piercing in to the ward's neck. Quite hurt.
He howls.
Diedrich's going to move forward. Charge the creature almost as tall as a creature, if you consider the suit. And with the spiked javelin-like arm, going to pounce, stab him in the thin torso, knocking him over again. The fight's getting messy as they grapple in the mud. Rune, it's your turn.
Rune, being cast a bit differently this time. The air sort of sparks and filled with an arcane kind of energy, causing the hairs on every creature's neck to sort of stand on end. Skin begins to prickle as he casts Divine Lance. And the power of Nephis strikes at the creature or attempts to move.
It's a miss.
This one did. Why not?
Excellent. It's a hard hit because he's in the ground. You're avoiding Diedrich.
But what does being prone mean? Does that mean he gets advantage?
Yeah, it's harder to hit a prone enemy ranged, but easier to hit a prone enemy melee.
Okay, got it.
So 29 will hit, however. Yeah. Roll damage on that link.
Sorry, for some reason I was not targeting you. I thought I was.
Right, fine. Excellent. It shrieks in pain. It seems to have changed its target to the greatest threat. Eyes you up, but Aldonis, you have another shot.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna jump on his. If his back is to me, I'm gonna jump on his back and
Yep.
chew on his neck.
He's standing above. He's above Diedrich right now
Oh
as they fight in the mud. So a pounce. I mean, you could dogpile.
yeah, dogpile.
Yeah.
Yes.
Disgusting glottal sound. Angry. Its red eyes actually seem to emit light. Excellent. Lashing on with your jaw.
And I
back of the
rolled a
neck.
4 for my pack damage.
Okay.
I don't know why
Perfect.
it's not hitting.
You still have 2 more attacks.
Oh, great. Second verse, same as first. Dude!
Roll damage.
Oh, he is feeling so good right now.
So biting onto the back of the neck. The claws come.
Holding on.
Swinging backwards, Diedrich starts to stand, swiping and actually scratching at Aldonis a bit. I will give you some damage here, and it makes a strange sound as the claws connect, almost like they're metal. But then suddenly, with a jerk, Aldonis just twists, and you hear a neck crack, and then the body falls face down into the mud. It's
Now
quiet again.
Aldonis is gonna start eating it.
Straight for the heart, or are you going for calories?
Yes.
Okay.
He's hungry. That was a lot of effort.
Pulling himself up from the mud, Diedrich looks to Rune. Is this a regular occurrence for you?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Oh. Alright. What's wrong about this board?
He'll pick
Can we
his.
move our camp, please?
I won't be able to cast that again, but sure.
I'll
You got
be
a
done in a minute. And thank you.
Might be a cave nearby. So the next day, Monica,
Hi.
you are an opportunist.
Uh-huh.
Apparently quite patient.
Oh yeah.
Trapped at this fortress, things for you actually seem to be going according to plan. This is the opportunity that you wanted, and you're caught between shifts.
So, have I been able to talk to any of the guards who've been like awake and bored? Like, can I be like, oh, you know what would make that a lot better? If you know where my pack is, I have a seasoned fox. This is what it looks like, and if you sprinkle a little bit of that on it, it's gonna taste so much better.
Make a deception check for me. That one's going to be particularly difficult. Yep. Ooh, much better. The two Charaka, they sort of glare at you. Baboon-like, smaller creatures, they're about your size. Cock your head. One of them clicks their tongue at the other. Which is you know that, you recognize that. That's a call for them. It's something like a rallying cry when somebody wants to group up. So a couple of them head over. You didn't know where your equipment was, but now you see a peek through one of the openings in this fortress, because you know it's an oval shape, and you happen to be able to see a peek through a corridor. You know roughly in the direction your equipment is, but you don't know what they're doing with it. You're muted. It's the skeleton crew. You have an opportunity here.
Okay, so I am... What day are we on for the plan?
You don't know.
Okay. Then never mind. I'm ultimately, the goal is to get them to A, help me find out where my gear is, and B, get them to trust me, to get them to relax around me.
Right. Well, they don't return. You know, it's probably about breakfast time. The sun has come up, and it's about time for them to switch shifts, so you won't see from them again.
Okay. And so there's nobody else guarding me?
Not right now, no. Between shifts, there's a quiet period. They're not that smart when it comes to these things.
So I am going to sneak out and find my bag and see if I can find the vial of liquid from that fruit that I made. And one of my daggers. The one that's attached to the doubling ring.
Right.
And then...
Everything's as you left it.
Okay.
Pristine condition.
Is there like a... did they take the seasoning at all?
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. So is there a... I want to like get as high as I can just so I can like try to see around.
Yeah. So this fortress is a massive oval-shaped building, almost like a warehouse, and it encloses another similarly shaped elliptical structure. You don't know what's inside though, but there is a door. This entire fortress houses this strange, nondescript building. Something's housed here. So you're basically in a membrane, just between the walls.
How much time do I have before the next shift comes?
Minutes. All you know, and your amulet floats towards it. Lighting up. When it was pointing to the left, you know that was the direction, and now it's pointing directly at the door.
Should I say or should I go? Because I'm caught up in indecision, I'm going to go back to my cell.
Excellent.
And hide my dagger somewhere, and put the vial in my pocket.
Right. We'll fade out of that as you wait, telling yourself maybe that the patience will pay off for your grand plan, but Amulet is unrelenting. It wants nothing more than to see what's inside.
Yeah, well, Monica does too, but I wasn't sure if I had enough time.
Of course. Sailix. Nikuje reports to you. They have returned. Looking out at the end of the clearing, the tree line, Rune emerges. The war Galdanis. Monica's not there. Instead, what appears to be a golem with a man's head, or a man in a suit of armor, made of this strange orangish rock. They emerge, the three of them, heading in. Rune and Aldonis
Aldonis will run toward Reika. and just be like telling her about the sloth thing that he killed.
Ah!
Will he'll come down and he'll approach Rune. So I don't know what kind of workout plan you put Monica on, but she's looking kind of buff.
What? Oh. You're talking about Diedrich, huh?
Looking at Diedrich, he falls to his knees, the sword in his hand. He plants in the ground and he begins to pray.
You're probably gonna like this part.
Like a fan of random prayers.
Diedrich's silent. He continues his prayer.
Oh, wasn't really a
Sailix,
shame. I thought it was
Rune, you
Can I do
feel...
religion
Yeah.
check?
Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
You might arrive late, Reika, at the edge of this encampment, this battlegrounds, to be. But he began to pray the moment he saw the tree, Bedariel, this city that you created. His sword pulses a bit strangely. Rune and Sailix, you smell that saline scent. You feel that weird breeze, not the breeze from this land, but sort of something transported or created. It's gentle.
You smell the ocean.
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right.
Reika, do you arrive? Diedrich approaches you. You don't know this man, though. You just know he's traveling with Rune. He bows to you.
I feel like she would like look at Rune like, what's happening?
Aldonis will whisper, "This is Diedrich. He is weird. Does not like monsters."
Did I get anything on the religion check?
He was saying a prayer to Ghostray.
So I feel like she would, return the vow. Welcome, brother.
Ghostry's miracles are few and far between. This is one of them.
I feel like she's still very, like, I don't know, like, again, even though she slept, it's just like so much of her went into that she's still sort of like feeling all of that,
Right, yeah, of course.
like the ultimate drop,
He'll
basically.
he'll chime in for you.
Yeah.
This is incredible. This wasn't here when we came up the river.
Reika here is a bit of a tight bond with Gozri.
I did not presume that much, but they have blessed us and guided us this far.
See, some of my compatriots are just fine.
This is incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
As a side note, Sailix, where did this place come from?
Oh, right. It was a seed they gave Reika.
You have to wait for the story. You have to wait for the play. Can the director finally make his way there? You gotta wait for it. I'll tell you later. You're gonna see it later. It's great. It was awesome.
Jambuge says, "No spoilers."
No spoilers.
The director gets a big Aldonis lick up his head,
Oh,
and
God.
so his green hair is now sticking up like a troll doll. It smells awful. It smells terrible.
Sailix is gonna look
Thanks.
at Rune and
Thanks
be
for
like,
all this.
this is what I deal with when you're gone.
I mean, in fairness, it's better than being under about 500 pounds of water.
Or rock. Just saying. Just or rock. I gotta tell you about that, Rune. I gotta tell you all the stuff, but that'll be for later.
A later date, we'll compare stories. So,
Monica's captured his plan. Pillars are down.
your friend here, is he here to help or what?
I'm gonna go with yes. At the very least, he's not here to get in our way.
Have you come to join the battle against the Hawk?
Diedrich's got his own agenda to worry about, but, he'll do what he wants.
My devotion to Gozer supersedes that. I'll see to it as they stand.
Oh, well, I do enjoy the additional help.
He observes the grid. These trees the smaller trees are only about 30 feet tall, but they're spaced out evenly, forming what's close to a perfect grid, but a bit messy. Each one woven as they were being built to form turrets. And now there are naturally paths in between, some walkways, elephants about patrolling, especially along the perimeter, and then of course there is just the colossal city at the center.
So, Sailix, what's the next step?
Next step is we check and double check traps. We make sure everybody's in place. Eventually this river's gonna flood all the way up to us. And then we wait for them to show up.
So this is the stand, this is what happens?
Right here. Well, I mean, if Monica does her job too well, then they'll all die in their sleep, but we'll see how many show up.
Sounds good.
Wait until you see the view from the top.
I can't wait.
Monica, you found the repeating peaks of your best opportunity. You don't think you're going to stumble upon a better one?
Yep.
Now that you've observed a full cycle, things are pretty orderly here. So you know their vulnerabilities, and you know you're not going to find any better opportunities, such as the next one. You want to check that out again?
Yep. I will leave Jockey to his fate because he doesn't want to be saved, and I will go and be curious with my hood up.
Yes, as you arrive. And you do notice there are actually a couple people on the opposite side of the chamber. They don't notice you, though. Which leads you to believe that this hood came in handy, its magical properties, protecting you. But they speak something about their crew, half of them getting sick for a time. They caught on to what it was, though. They seemed quite mad at the prisoners. But the amulet floats towards this bizarre chamber. It's black as soot. It's very nondescript. Imagine there might not be any light inside. The doors are strange as well, like carvings.
Can I see any of the carvings at all? Like, are they repeating? Do they look like they're text?
Not text, but drawings. Maybe a few words. It's all worship
Okay.
for Dahak. It's our Cinder Claws after all. But more primitive.
All right. And is there anything that's feeding this black thing?
Well, you notice at the top At some point it does. There are 8 paths that feed in to a main, it almost looks like a chimney shape, over at the farther end of this oval-shaped fortress-like entrance. It almost looks like a beetle's shell, would be the shape of it. But each one painted a different color. You recognize these to correspond with the dragon color.
So are any of them lit or fractured based on what we know from the
So here's the trouble. You don't know if any of them are out of place because they all look the same, which means either all of them are still on or none of them.
Okay.
You like to hope none of them, but you've been disappointed before. So
Do I recall if I saw anything on the roof of this building, like a vent or an opening, where if I were to get on the roof, I could toss a couple of the anti-magic caltrops?
no, but there were openings sort of on the side. You do remember, but it was hard. You never got close enough to the place to look at it. And when you're transported here, you are petrified. So
Yeah. Can I see a way out? Like I want to
There's an
vent. Okay.
behind you. There is an exit if you wanted to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm
Amulet
gonna
doesn't
have.
want that.
I know the amulet doesn't want that, but I'm bigger than the amulet.
Right.
And I feel like if the amulet were to connect with this thing, that would be bad. I feel like that would be really bad. Oh, here we go. Can I close my 2 eyes and open my new 3rd eye and see what I see?
Yeah. Everything's red, but you see sort of through your eyelids. You can see the amulet dangling, floating in the air as it's urging you to move forward, but you see through the walls what looks to be a large vertebra that covers this entire inside of this structure. Something built around massive bones.
Not
You hear
good.
somebody calling for you. In the end, in the far end of this thorax-shaped building. You're not even on the inside of it yet, though, but you hear somebody calling through many chambers. In Draconic.
And I don't recognize the voice.
No.
What name is it calling?
Monica. Seems in pain.
I will ask in my mind, what do you want?
There's no answer. He doesn't change his tone to signal that he even heard you. He just keeps calling for you.
Okay. I am going to back away and try to get out. I want to try to get to my party. Food was bad anyway.
The doors behind you, they seem to be the strongest part of this entire fortress.
Of course they are. Is there like a wall that I can jump down? I know I've got rope in my pack.
These walls, they carry all the way to the top. And the angle, it's a negative angle, so you can't conceive of a way to climb. Perhaps you could wait for somebody to open it and slip out, but now you can't stop hearing it. The person calling for you. At the center, you hear the sound of bubbling.
Garza. I will hide by the door and wait for somebody to come in so that I can sneak out. And just like hold my hand against my amulet.
Excellent. Sailix. Scouts approach you again. Not in the Kuje this time. Elephant clan, human. His arms crossed. Says, sir. They bring a messenger.
The Cinder Claws?
Yes. Looking out in the direction that the fortress would be, where the trees meet the clearing, a winged figure appears. Stands still. Large, feathery black wings. Skin red. The shape like a vulture. It's sneering up.
Grab the room and I guess you can grab the director and see his words.
Being muted. Yeah. Whoever would like to approach. Reiko, would you like to be involved here? All right. Creatures as tall as you are. Standing, rubbing his knuckles with talons. Hello, friend. What do you call yourself? Looking around. Who's your leader? Cocking his head.
That be me.
Yeah, Reiko would just like
Right.
look at Sailix.
Well, I promise you, you won't have the luxury of doing battle with me or my kind. We're only here for what's left. But, we wish to inform you the Cinder Claws are coming.
Well then, message is true.
Would you do your part and kill as many of them as you can? I told them to do the same for you.
Can I appreciate the opportunity?
Why?
Can I get a Arcana or
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, make your check.
We're all gonna make our checks.
What do you want us to?
There's a couple more in the treetops. They seem weak, though. You outnumber them easily by quite a lot. And what you know about vultures, or anything like it, is you can't expect them in too large numbers.
Nature good?
Nature, sure. Arcana. Rune, you recognize this to be a demon.
Religion?
Right?
I'm going to do an initiative to check out for lying or...
Yeah.
Can Aldonis look at it with his third eye?
Yeah, but there won't be much to learn from them.
Just kind of wants to know what if it's like him.
This thing is a demon.
Okay.
If it serves a deity, it doesn't serve it strongly.
So with nature or religion, do I get anything?
Yeah,
Okay.
these are carrion birds. They seek the aftermath of the war, not the battle itself. It's going to say, we are here not as threats. We're here for what's left. You have 3 days time.
Rune in a fairly thoughtful sort of, and it makes everyone's ears sort of, or even noses sort of twinge at it. It feels icky when he says the words. But he asks a question. I put it in the chat.
Yeah, we can't see it. Wingdings.
Wingdings.
It's wingdings.
Yeah. I'm nobody. It's gonna speak in Abyssal. You can't hear this. I'm merely a skinny rock looking for a meal.
Continuing in Abyssal. Who do you serve?
I serve a full stomach.
Tell whoever sent you that we received a message and we will be ready in 2 days to put them down like the dogs they are.
The monkeys.
Director, would you
Yeah.
like to go with them?
I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
Aldonis does growl a little bit at you.
With a bit of a cackle, like a snorting sound with this massive beak, very snotty. He flies away with it. About a half a dozen people look just like him, and they scatter out. It feels strange.
Costumes for them are going to be a pain, I swear.
That was unsettling.
Sailix will turn around and look to the people that are scattered about, like the Sujet and the elephant people and such. Tell them, well, time's up. We're resting. We go to war in 3 days.
Excellent. Any other preparations you think you would make before the battle?
You would drill into them, lead them into the traps, mark like the branches, the weak ones, when they're in the trees, things of that sort. He'd create his vanguard units, cavalry units with the armored elephants, medic tents,
Right.
things like that.
Right. About you, Rune?
Rune will actually spend most of the night just sitting and staring out at the jungle from this newfound perch.
Yeah, you have a
very introspective.
beautiful panorama. You think back about the portals. You were so fixated on Huntergate, you didn't stop to think about the big picture, what they meant, what the ring meant. Alcetta's ring itself. You were so focused on getting through to the other side. I think some of that is pride when you think about it. Coriolanus took it from you and you wanted to get it back when he deactivated it. But maybe there's a pattern. Maybe Alcetta's ring itself meant something, and if you were to look there instead, maybe you'd be further on this. You'd be so buried in mystery. Might be a great place to visit when this is over. If you can.
Target comes first.
Aldonis, how about you?
Aldonis will be keeping watch toward the facing the citadel, like whatever direction the citadel is in. And when the sun sets each night, he will bay at the moon as loud as he can, just to let Monica know that he made it, and he's waiting for her to come back.
Director.
He is going to. Does he have any of the whiskey left from the initial encampment?
I'd say you're probably down to your last bottle.
Oh, damn. Okay. I gotta make this work then. He's going to do what he does best and continuously try and raise the morale of the Kuze that's been fighting with him and anybody else that's been, you know, a part of this. He's going to try and really be like, this is it, guys. This is it. I know what I said before was it. No, this is really it. You guys made it. You guys have done this. We all deserve. Kind of like away from like Sailix's ear too. He's going to play on that a little bit. That obviously Sailix is his taskmaster, but and then he's the cool one. He's the cool cop. He's the cool guy.
Love that.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, just don't tell you know who. You know, I have one bottle left. Let's make this good. Let's make this good, gentlemen and ladies. And proceed to do that.
All right. Monica. Nobody arrives. Something seems off. The way that this fortress is built, you feel like the cell wasn't what was holding you in here. You suspect maybe they caught on. Nobody's opened the door. And as the fortresses go, if there's no way in, there's no way out.
God damn it. All right. Well. Okay. I guess I will go forward, but before I do, I want to put my bag of anti-magic caltrops in my front pocket. And,
Okay.
you know, for easy access. Have both my daggers at the ready, my top of my hair done up with my very sharp hairpin, hair stick, and go forward toward the voice.
Clearing
I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. Like, this is me, my internal monologue. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry, Rune. I really
You
hope
hear
I
a
don't
voice
get us
respond,
killed.
calling from many, many layers of chambers away from you. It's okay. You won't hurt them. This isn't what you think. It's okay.
What are you? I'm still going closer.
Right. As you move in, so you notice that this thorax-shaped structure, as you move in, 2 vertebrae, almost you think maybe ribs, hold it in place. It accounts for the shape, but you're only in a small section of the chamber. There are multiple sections, you imagine. But as you close the door, you hear the front gates open. Finally, as you're on the other side of it, this thing calling to you. But at the same time, you hear Garsat speaking, talking over one another. Garsat calls out to a couple of Cinderclaws. He says, grab Jossie. But then at the same time, simultaneously, you hear the voice. My name is Kyrian. I'm a dragon. And I'm a prisoner just like you.
Do you want to get out of here?
Yes.
Were those pillars keeping you prisoner?
No.
Then what holds you back?
I need you to break me out of my chains.
Show them to me. Or point them out.
Well, the opening to the next layer of this chamber is glowing, if you wish to proceed.
I'll do it.
As you do, you have to actually climb up in order to open the door. But that's par for the course. And it's at a bit of a slant, so it's even more difficult. You hear
Tall
Garsat
people don't know
leave.
how to build anything.
You hear Garsat leave with Jossie. Some chains or something and a hood over his face. At least that's what somebody mentions, that they're covering him up.
Oh, so I should have killed him. Oh well.
But as you get closer, each layer, it's another set of bones, and you realize that it's piecing together what is a spine. And as you get to the final layer, after 1, 2, 3, after passing through 3 rooms, an enormous bath of gold. In an altar stands a young dragon, might see in Fantasy Grounds, and an enormous skull with glowing red eyes on this altar. The dragon, maybe the size of Diedrich, honestly. Not large at all.
Okay.
He's young. He's chained at 4 spots over a pool of molten gold.
So he's slightly bigger than Aldonis.
Right. Dripping from this massive skull, molten gold dropping over him and just sort of spattering. He seems in pain, but resigned to it, in a way. These chains, he says, it's a red dragon. They hold me.
Do they look magic? Do they feel weird?
They seem normal, but you're not sure you have the means to break them. They're thick. Iron.
Well, I will take out one of the caltrops and drop it on one of the chains. See if anything happens.
It bounces off, lands in the molten gold.
Okay, not
Your
magic.
amulet's pointed towards him. He looks at you. There's a scar on his face. He has piercing red eyes. And he nods, familiar with it.
Kyrian, what is this to you?
I need to speak with you.
Well, I'm here.
3 days have passed at Bedariel. It's the name of this camp now. It's the morning. Scouts have reported, obviously, there's been an army forming. You don't quite know the extent of it because they managed to travel through tunnels. I mean, they're just so good at covering their tracks that you really don't have a good idea of the enemy you're facing. But you are confident. You managed to get here with minimal deaths. Now, the kobolds might have all been wiped out, but the Kuj are ready to fight. And they're well, and they're motivated, and they have the resources. But now, a small line of torches emerge, slowly spaced out, covering almost half of the opening, the diameter of this clearing. And at the center, a violet dragonkin and Garsat, the Aruxi. Carrying a person, wearing robes, a hood over their face. Is it time? Garsat says. Is there anybody who would wish to speak to me?
The only reason we wish to speak to you is if it's to hear your unconditional surrender.
You're an idiot. Belmazog is beside him. Boggards, Belokos, Charka. Most humanoids seem to be under their banner, except for the ones you've already allied with. You see they start to populate the opening slowly so as to stay out of range. But they form, they organize. Sailix, you're familiar with this. Ahead of a war, it's usually good form to let the battle breathe a bit. Let the armies form fully. And well, while you're the one with the defenses, perhaps they'll give a charge. What they might not know is all the traps that you've laid. Reiko, you're in the tree.
Sorry, go ahead.
Is the wait? So I'm confused. The Ruxy is with Monica, right? Or no? Or is he in front of
So the time is jumpy. It's a little
Okay.
bit. So Monica's timeline is probably off by, yeah.
I'm talking to a dragon. I ain't there.
Okay.
Right, but Garsat, so whatever happens, it might have been offset. We don't know how far back what happens to Monica right now
Yeah.
relates to this.
Okay.
That is
but
Garsat there at the field, even though
Okay.
Garsat was with Monica. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that, he's out there. Is he, like, within range? Oh, thank you, Jester, for the sub. Is he within range to, shout at or, like, talk or,
He's extremely far away for you,
Okay.
at the top of the tree. But he sees you
Yeah.
there as you stand sentinel,
Yeah.
watching over the place.
I feel like
Waves.
yeah, I guess, like, she would, wave back, sort of, but, like, in her mind, she's basically, like, you don't have to be what they say you are, to have this, come to pass. Like that's where she's at. Is just like, why are you becoming everything that they thought you were? So I guess at this point, she kind of wonders if she can maybe, like, save him, but it might also be too late for that.
You seem fortified. Looks out. He's shouting quite loud. You've prepared for this. So have we. You've won many battles. This one remains to be seen. You forget the weapons we possess. Count your victories. Stupid pride. I have one more weapon to reveal. Bring out our weapon. Oh no. One of these large
shoulda killed him.
sloth-like creatures appears with what looks like just a large bird cage, honestly. But it's like a cell. It's the kind of thing you take, you'd hang in a dungeon to torture somebody. You can't see what's inside.
It's
a
called a
claw.
gibbet, by the way.
Oh, yes. Okay, sure, sure. And lays it down slowly and smiles sinisterly. He's going to open it slowly. I'm quite certain you'll find it potent. Monica.
Yep.
What do you want to do about these chains?
Well, so he said he wanted to talk to me. He was looking at my necklace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take my necklace and tap it on the chain. See if anything happens.
And he says, Kyrian the Red Dragon, what do you expect to happen to that chain?
I have no idea. I'm tiny. I don't have upper body strength. I don't know how magic works. Okay? I'm working with what I've got here.
The chain is mundane. It's
What about
unbreakable.
What about this?
I wish you'd understand by now what this means.
I would if people would actually speak to me. I'm not good at riddles and shit.
Monica, you notice a strange feeling suddenly. Looking down, you're chained to the floor.
Oh. Isn't that nice?
The amulet's hovering towards Kyrian. Where's Aldonis in the battlefield?
Where would Sailix have put him?
Good question.
Sailix would have kept him, Aldonis, next to Rune on the formation.
Okay.
Yeah, so whatever is a clearing, the elephants have these avenues where they can safely just rampage, and then there are some for the elephant people and anyone who wants to remain on the battleground to safely traverse. The Cinder Claws don't know this, but that is how you manage to not get all of your own people trampled to death. Aldonis is there, but in the front. Standing at formation, there's maybe 100 or 200 feet between you two. Monica, Kyrian says to you, I need you to think about how to solve this problem. You're looking too closely. Look out. While you think about that, back on the battlefield, Garsat, hand me his weapon. The Sanbasam, the sloth, complies, hands him a bat. You recognize it. It's Kio's. It's the one he used. He used it in two hands, but he managed to hold it with just one. Lifting the cage off of its base, a cloth over this weapon. Now this weapon, he is how I win this. He is how you are the forgotten. He is the Age of Ashes. Monica. Kyrian.
Guys, I could use some help because I am drawing a blank.
It's closer to you.
If I
The
could.
amulet floating. Monica,
Do you
where
need-
are you? Where are you, Monica?
Okay. Like, I could use a hand. I could use a roll or something because I
Monica,
can't.
you look up.
Okay.
The ceiling is made of glass. The dome, you're observing something. Kyrian says, pay attention to what comes next. Garsat lifts the veil. A petrified Monica stands on the base, putting a second hand on the bat, and in full swing, shatters it.
Oh
A
no!
cloud of smoke. Aldonis, how do you react?
Shit. Okay, you expect me to pay attention to that? Oh my god, I hate you, Ian, right now.
Kyrian watches with you. As you look up, a bit of a vertigo, you notice you're seeing the battlefield from an angle you didn't expect to see. Aldonis, Sailix, if you are moving up at this point, you've just seen Monica, petrified, blown to pieces. Garsat's wearing her amulet.
Boone watches, and the moment that Monica shatters, he floats into the air. Electricity just writhing between the ground, his staff, and
Kyrian.
I will destroy.
And the armies move from a brisk pace into a run. The battle's begun. Kyrian whispers towards you as you watch Monica, this battle unfold from the enemy's perspective. Monica, you're dead. You're here with me now. So we're gonna end it tonight, guys.
Ah!
What the? What the?
So, yeah, this has been a trip, guys. Thanks for watching, everybody. Shout out to whoever rated us. That was super sweet. This has been Pathfinder 2nd edition on Fantasy Grounds. If you like Pathfinder, play it. If you like 2nd edition, play it on Fantasy Grounds. It's super nice. We use Unity now. Our map for the battle, that was the river battle scene, that was from Seafoot Games on Patreon. Our song just now was from Rock Narden. He has just absolute bangers. You should check him out on Spotify. And I think he has a Patreon. It's not coming out on Spotify. Michael Gelfi gave us our ambient tracks. They're super nice. They loop at a full hour. Check him out on YouTube or Spotify. We're going to do our plugs, and I think we'll be out before midnight. So, Jen, how about you?
Well, first of all, thank you, Jester559, for the sub and gifting
Thank
everybody
you.
subs.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
amazing. Thank you guys so much. I am
Jester.
Yeah.
right. I am Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. You can find my awesome nerdy t-shirts and stuff at savagesparrow.com. Tonight I played Reka and I made my baby Groot into a tree city
So
thing.
lovely.
It was so good.
Alex?
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. Thank you guys so much for joining and subbing. You guys are awesome being in the chat. I love it. I played the director, the gnome bard, and I'm really excited that I still have my flying elephant, who's like my best friend now, and that's all that I care about. But yes, thank you so much. Every Sunday, Star Wars alternating Mondays. Yes.
Mr. Smith?
Hello, I'm Mr. Smith. I don't know what the frick just happened. Jesus. I play Rune Ravenswood. You can catch me at my musings at IamMrSmith.com.
Spence?
I'm Spence, I think. Right? I was playing Monica and Eldonis. And if you have not been gifted a subscription by the incredibly generous people that we have in here, please hit that heart, hit that bell to get notifications when we go live. I will be back here tomorrow to play Static Dawn, and hopefully I will have recovered by then. And I play every other Monday with that. And you can find me on my Twitch channel at Resident Moon the rest of the week. And thank you, Ian, for kicking me out
Can't
in
say
style.
you're welcome. I am sorry. I love you.
I love you. But you're in my game tomorrow.
Uh-oh. I'm in danger. And Daniel.
Hi, I'm Daniel. I was directing tonight and playing Sailix, Lavendale, the Crestfallen. I'm here all the time. I'm here alternating Fridays with Scion, and then every other Friday with a short rest series, and then every Sunday with Ian on Age of Ashes, and then every other Monday with Alex on Star Wars. So definitely come and check those out.
And I've been the GM, Ian. I have to do unspeakable things to my players out of love. Just don't hate the GM, hate the game, I guess. We are sponsored by Fantasy Grounds. Again, if you like what you saw when we were running it, totally check them out. Also, the Only Sheet if you're trying to build a character, even if you're playing online, because I know a lot of people are. 100% go to the onlysheet.com. It's great for automating things like managing an entire party. Check out those music. If this is YouTube, there is a link. I think we're going to get out now, though. We will see you next week for the final chapter of Book 2 of Pathfinder Age of Ashes.
If Ian survives the week.
One way or another, yes, I will be sleeping tonight with this eye open. I love all of you. Thanks for watching. That's it, guys. Good night.